Hello everyone, and welcome back to another round of mini TBR Star Hop. If you haven't watched a mini TBR Star Hop reading vlog from me before, you might not know that this game is so mean to me every time, and yet I love it. TBR Star Hop is a TBR game created by Stephanie's Bookverse, and I was a member of her Patreon for a while, and she has typically an annual readathon with this mini game board, and you're supposed to be able to complete it in 48 hours. That is not my journey, but I will be using this to help me get through my August TBR because I will link it up in the cards. My TBR stack for the month of August is very large, and I need some motivation to get through that stack, keep me on track, because I really need to just read more books. I've been struggling this year and I just want to push myself a little bit, so we will be playing this game and I hope that I can reach the end by the end of August and will have checked off a lot of my TBR. That would be the most ideal. If you've never seen this game board before, I'm actually just going to pop up a picture so that you can actually see it a bit better. We have stars, which are more easy prompts, moons, which are like intermediate level prompts, suns that have the hardest prompts. We have black holes here where if you land on that, you need to randomly generate a book off your TBR and you have to read that book and you're sent back to the beginning. And then our very last spot is this 7-pointed star at the end, and that is a free pick. You can read whatever book you want to finish off this readathon. Again, the patrons and Stephanie are able to complete this in a weekend. I have never been able to do that. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I don't read that fast, and I never have 48 hours that I could focus on only reading and sleeping very minimally. That's just not my reading journey. So I just take however long it takes me to reach the end, and that is still fun for me. But I'm going to stop rambling. We're going to do our very first roll, choose a book off of my August TBR, which I do have on my TBR cart, and I'm really hopeful that at least the majority of the books I get for this reading vlog are from my actual TBR. Of course, if I get a prompt that I just literally cannot fill with anything on that stack, that's fine. We'll head over to my bookshelves, but the goal for this reading vlog is to make it through my TBR for the month. So let's go ahead and do roll number 1. All right, here we go. Roll number 1. 1. A star. I just have all my prompts really shuffled together here, so if the shape we need is not on top, we will just keep pulling until we get there. I'm sure that doesn't make that much sense, but it takes up less space. A fantasy. Here we have my huge August TBR. Fantasy is pretty broad. I have lots of options. But a goal of mine is, or a challenge of mine for my TBR, I should say, is to binge read The Infernal Devices. So for a fantasy, I'm going to choose Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, the second book in The Infernal Devices. All right, we're back. Spoiler alert, I filmed the intro and we're going to be doing update number 1 together because I lost the footage of my intro the first time. So roll number 1, we got a 1. Which is better than a 6 and being off the game board, because a 6 would have given us a black hole. But this just goes to show I know what I'm getting myself into. This game, it doesn't like me, but I'm trying to make it love me. Maybe it doesn't like me because I don't play it as often as I should. I would love to play this game every other month, but we'll see. Anyways, roll number 1. A star, which means an easy prompt, something that should be easily filled, either a quick read or a genre that I read a lot of, and I got fantasy. On my August TBR, I am supposed to finish off The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. So I am reading Clockwork Prince, which is the second book in The Infernal Devices. And as I'm sitting here today, I am about 60% through this book and having a great time. I do really enjoy The Infernal Devices much more than The Mortal Instruments. These are YA fantasies. And in The Infernal Devices, we're set in 1800s London. We have a bit of like a love triangle situation as one of the like tropes of this book, of this series, I should say, between Jem. Is that? I always want to call him Jim, but that is not right. Jem, Will, and Tessa. And I just like the atmosphere of this like industrial London, like grimy, foggy, gloomy, turn of the century setting. I just really enjoy that a lot. We still have typical YA fantasy, and also if you're familiar with Mortal Instruments, like there is still like the Shadowhunter Codex and the Institute, and they're fighting demons and all of these things, but it's just a very different setting than modern day New York. Enjoying this a lot. 60% through. The one thing, this book is like 500 pages and there's only 20 or 21 chapters. Like the chapters are so long, and I'm someone like short chapters keeps me motivated and flipping the pages. And this one, because each chapter has so many pages, I'll read like one chapter and be like, okay, I need a break. I'm going to pick up my Kindle, read for a bit. I always have a book going as a buddy read with Sam, but I really do want to get this done in the next day or two so we can do another roll, because I can't be stuck on the very first spot of this game board if I hope to finish by the end of August. So this is going great. I will check in with you again when I have finished it and we're ready to do another roll. Excuse my appearance. It is super late on a Monday night, but I couldn't help but finish Clockwork Prince before getting ready for bed. This was so good. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I don't think I've ever been more conflicted on a love triangle. I just want Tessa to love both Will and Jem. I love both of them so much for different reasons, and so does Tessa. I think the plot and the atmosphere in The Infernal Devices is superior to The Mortal Instruments. I still feel that way. And I've been watching Emmy Rossum read The Infernal Devices. Not any of the spoilers, of course, but I don't think I'm ready for the emotional devastation that's going to come from finishing this series. This is really, really good, but I cannot go to bed without rolling for my second book for mini TBR Star Hop. So let's head over and do that. All right, here we are. I did decide to organize my prompts here. We got fantasy last time. We are on the first square. I will shuffle this back into the star prompts after, but let's do roll number 2. A 3. 1, 2, 3, a sun. The sun prompts are the more challenging, the most challenging ones. And I mean, we still have a long way to go to get to here. Let's see what this prompt is. A book club pick. Okay, I know exactly what I need to read for this, but it is not on my August TBR, of course. I'm a part of Rachel Ravenhaired Readers Patreon, and I have fallen behind on the book club and really want to catch up. I want to read all the books and then, you know, watch the exclusive vlogs, etc. And the next one I need to read, which I think this was June's, so like I said, I'm behind. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I loved the One Dark Window duology, loved it so much. I think this one is more on the adult side than YA, and I think that this one has some good humor in it, which I'm really looking forward to. In terms of the plot, I have no idea. I just know that this still has like that gothic vibe, which is right up my alley. I feel like this was kind of gothic as well. Let me read the first. From New York Times bestselling author Rachel Gillig comes a gothic, mist-cloaked tale of a young prophetess who is forced on an impossible quest with the one knight whose future she cannot see. I don't need to read any more than that. I'm so looking forward to starting this book. This is a great pick. It is extremely late at night on a Tuesday, and I will be finishing this, but I want to officially fully get ready for bed, and I need to know what my next book is going to be. I only have 40 pages left of The Night and the Moth, and I've realized I've done that thing where I haven't checked in with you, but I am obsessed with this book. I have my midliner out to highlight things that I'm just loving, which I only decided to do in the last like 100 pages, so I'm kind of sad, but this is a book I will definitely want to reread, especially when the next one comes out. This is a 5-star read. I already know that. This is a 6-star read for me. It doesn't matter how it ends in the next 40 pages. I am fully enamored with this book. I will give you a proper review tomorrow once I have had time to digest it a little bit more. But before I finish the last 40 pages, after I get ready for bed, I do need to roll to see what our next book is going to be, or at least know what my prompt is, even if I don't choose a book right this second, so I have some time to think over it. So let's do that. Okay, here we are. We are on this sun prompt. I can't pick this up, which is, oh my goodness, the prompt book club book. And we're going to do our third roll. Why does this always happen to me? Okay, so for my August TBR, I had 6 rolls for my TBR game. So I'm just gonna roll this dice, see what we get. I will say we used to live here, had to be returned to the library, unread. Number 6 is Phantasma. 3, so we can't do that. Roll again. 4, Small Favors. All right, so I guess I don't need to think too hard on what I'm going to pick, because this is the next book I will be picking up, which honestly, I'm excited for this anyways. Hi everyone, good morning. Now that I'm a bit more rested, I'm here to review The Night and the Moth. I did stay up late and finish this last night, and I give it 5 stars, infinity stars. I loved this book so much. This was a stunning blend of gothic, dark atmosphere, humor, a unique magic system and world, and the romance in here was so good. Basically, I swooned over this book the entire time. I did not want to put it down. I did not want it to come to an end, and I'm going to need the second book ASAP. I don't even know if it has a release date yet, but Rachel Gillig is like a top tier author for me. I loved One Dark Window so much, that entire duology as well. This was incredible. Dare I say my favorite book of the year. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. And then, as you saw, why does this game hate me so much? Roll number 3 was a black hole, which means I needed to randomly generate a book off my TBR and start at the beginning. We're starting over, we're not even on the board, but the book that I am going to be reading is Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, and I'm really excited for this as well. I think these are like in the same vein, if you know what I mean. This is more like darker atmospheric fantasy, at least that is what I believe Erin A. Craig writes. That's why this book was recommended to me. I think the cover is absolutely amazing, but it says, "Enter not the forest deep, beyond the bells the dark fiends keep. The heart's desire always comes with a price." So I'm really, really excited to dive into this. This book is absolutely stunning. I love honeybees. I love the color yellow. So I have really high hopes for this as well. So while I don't know why I get surprised, because this game hates me every single time I play it, I'm at least excited about the book, though I'm not so excited to start over at the beginning, but here we are. I think this is more on the YA side. It's a bit under 500 pages, so hopefully this won't take me too long and we can roll for our 4th book, but starting off at the beginning of the game board once again. I have a confession to make. I got distracted with many other reads, which the whole point of this was to stick to my August TBR. So that was a bit of a fail, and we are now in September. So for our next rolls, we will be working off my September TBR, but I am officially halfway through Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, and I am loving this. This is a little bit unexpected. The bees and the flowers certainly play their role. So we are following the Downings, and the characters in here, they live in this very small town that's far removed from the rest of civilization, kind of like they're down in a valley, and in order to get to the city where there are, you know, doctors and more supplies, they have to go over the mountain pass, and they can't do that once the snow falls. So like they're very kind of separated off. They have their own kind of rules and laws that the town needs to abide by. And it's feeling very, at the beginning, kind of like Little Women-esque. We're following this really quaint, cute family, the Downings. The Downings have an apiary, like a bee farm, and wildflowers, and they play around with which wildflower seeds that they're going to plant for the coming year, because it affects the taste or essence of the honey, and the honey is how they make their money. That is like their farming, you know what I mean? Like one family does wheat, one family does sheep, etc., etc. You get it. And we are in the eldest daughter's POV, Ellery Downing. And so we're getting the story from her perspective. She's the eldest daughter. She just turned 18, but she hasn't been courted yet. So she's in a very kind of limbo state of her life. She's no longer a child. She doesn't have to go to school anymore, but she's also not married off, a wife, a mother, all of that. So we have this very like cozy historical Little Women feel, but with a monstrous twist. We start off the story in the fall. Men from the town are heading over the pass to go to the city, but one of the men's stallions come roaring back into town with horrific injuries. And following that, they go on a hunting party to try and find the supply wagon, and they find them in pieces. There is something monstrous in the woods surrounding Amity Falls. Now men start to hunt down and find these monstrous beasts. They find what they thought was an elk, but the elk had some feathers, and the horns grew on the center of its forehead, but there was like 40, what are they called? Spikes? I don't know. And the all twisted. There's something wrong with it. It had 5 legs. So these gruesome, vicious creatures are showing up. But things are also happening in Amity Falls. The farmer who foals horses for the town, all his foals this year were born with severe deformities. Crops start to wither. So we don't know what is going on. I am loving it's like such contrasting themes, right? Like this really cozy, quaint, small town, like secluded, small living, and like little nitpicky neighbor conflicts contrasted with these gruesome monsters, these really suspenseful moments, but it still doesn't feel overall fantastical. It feels overall like historical fiction, slice of life. Like, I'm finding that duality so interesting. Clearly there's some sort of magic or fairy. Something is going on in this book, but none of our characters believe in magic or have seen magic, just that there's these monstrous beings all of a sudden. And there is lore of when the town was founded, that they, had to push back these monstrous things, but people in nowadays, like still historical, but like for them, they thought that was all just like silly stories that they told, because there's been no evidence for decades and decades. It's just so interesting. I'm having a great time. I like how the bees and the flowers that are on the cover do play a significant role. It's not just to make the cover look pretty, and I'm having a great time. So I'll let you know when I finish the book and I'm ready to roll again. Hello, good morning. I stayed up really late to finish Small Favors because I was enjoying it so much. I am a little conflicted on my rating. If I was rating this solely based on enjoyment, I would feel like this is like a 4-star. When I start to kind of critique it a little bit, I think I'm dropping out to like a 3.5. As I mentioned at my check-in, this is like Little Women with like a sinister twist, right? This like isolated small historical town, we have very like slice of life, this close-knit family of mostly sisters. So there is one son. Our main character Ellery is a twin with Sam, who is their only brother. But there's something happening in the town, and I feel like the pacing of the like dread is a bit off. When I checked in with you at 50%, we were at a high, and then we kind of like lulled down a little bit, but not, I was still fully engaged, but it was just less suspenseful, scary at that point, maybe a bit more on the slice of life side like it was towards the beginning. Like we were kind of doing this, and I did kind of figure out part of the reveal, but that didn't really ruin it for me. I think, I don't want to spoil anything, but there were a couple characters that I really wanted to make a reappearance in the latter part of the book, and then I wish we saw things that were of importance at the beginning of the book towards the end, such as the spring supply run. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want it to be spoilery, but I wish we saw that. We don't know if that happened, but we are led to believe it must have in order for things to be how they are. I don't know. I did really enjoy this. I'm happy I read it. I had a great time. I binge read the last like half of it. But I am very ready to roll again. Very nervous, but I'm ready to roll again and see what I'll be reading next. All right, here we are. We hit the black hole last time, so we are starting at the beginning again, and we are now on to my September TBR. So let's do a roll. I've done this so many times, I know that's bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6. Okay, here's my TBR. I'm gonna roll the dice. I've already finished number 3, so we need a 1, 2, 4, or 5. Rebel Witch. Okay, and we are... I don't know why I'm constantly surprised that this game hates me. We're still not on the board. Still not on the board, but we are reading a book that I'm very excited about. Let me just pull it from my TBR card here. Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli, finally, and this will be finishing a series, which is amazing. So this is the second book in the duology, the Crimson Moth duology, and Heartless Hunter was one of my favorite books of last year. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was so fast-paced. We have this cat and mouse plot line between a witch and a witch hunter, and it was just a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that this is a lot of fun, because the ending, the cliffhanger at the end of Heartless Hunter was pretty interesting. So I am looking forward to this. Right now, leave your guesses on how many books you think I will have to read in order to actually reach the end of this game. I will check in when I'm halfway through Rebel Witch. Hello, good morning. I finished Rebel Witch, and I didn't update you, but that was intentional because I realized that this was a book picked by my kids for a different reading vlog, and I have no idea which reading vlog is going to go up first. It will just depend on what mini TBR Star Hop has in store for me, but I did finish this. This was on my September TBR. I'm really happy about that. I gave this 4.5 stars, and it crossed a series off my list. So keep your eyes peeled for a series themed reading vlog that's either already up on my channel or coming soon, because I do share my thoughts in that book. But I did already roll with... Alrighty, let's try this again. Let's try to get on the board this time. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I'm getting a little dusty over here. A moon prompt, which is like medium level for difficulty. Oh, I'm so nervous. A hardcover. Okay, well, none of the books on my September TBR that I have left are hardcover. Okay. So coming over here to my book cart, these 3 books are still on my September TBR. I really do need to get to those. I mean, part of me wants to go with What Moves the Dead, as it's really short. And I could knock this out very fast. Is that cheating? You know what? I've been sent back to the beginning twice now. And I still have 2 black holes to get by. So I'm going to choose What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher for my hardcover book. Thank goodness that we haven't hit the black hole again for the 3rd time in a row, because I think I would have crashed out. But we did get hardcover, which was a moon prompt, and I'm going easy on myself, and I chose this really small book. This is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. We are entering spooky season, and I'm really excited to read more of T. Kingfisher's books. I did read Nettle and Bone and really loved that one. So I'm now going to pick up What Moves the Dead. It is less than 200 pages. The cover is super creepy. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this today. I do work at 2 of my 3 jobs today, so we are, quite packed in terms of the schedule, and I also have my buddy read schedule to maintain, but it's hard to see with the library copy because they always tape the dust jacket on, but I will get a start on this morning. I did just finish my coffee, which was not my brightest idea, but I'm going to read maybe 2-3 chapters depending on how long they are, then get my workout in and get ready for work. But I did want to at least update you that this is the book I chose for the prompt hardcover, and I am going to get started on it. I have no idea what this is actually about, except that it is fantastical, horror-like, and it has some like fungus situation. I don't know what that means yet. Hopefully I can give you a better synopsis the next time I check in. But we are actually on the board, which that's all I'm asking for nowadays. I'm all ready. Okay, I'm going to read you just the first 2 paragraphs of this book. And I think that will pretty much sum up how this is like gross horror. The mushroom's gills were the deep red color of severed muscle, the almost violet shade that contrasts so dreadfully with the pale pink of viscera. I had seen it any number of times in dead deer and dying soldiers, but it startled me to see it here. Perhaps it would not have been so unsettling if the mushrooms had not looked so much like flesh. The caps were clammy, swollen beige, puffed up against the dark red gills. They grew out of the gaps in the stones of the tarn like tumors growing from diseased skin. I had a strong urge to step back from them, and an even stronger urge to poke them with a stick. I'm unsettled. Okay, well done, T. Kingfisher. I have made it about a quarter of the way through What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, and I'm now able to kind of tell you a bit more of what this book is about. I made it this far very quickly. As I mentioned, this is a very short read. It is 158 pages, and this is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's House of Usher. I think I have that correctly. It definitely has this very gothic vibe, which I'm super into. We are following Lieutenant Alex Easton, and they received a letter from Maddie saying that her brother is super worried about her, that her brother thinks that she is dying, and Easton, they go by Easton most often, thinks to themselves that they should go and see if there's anything they can do to help, or even if it's just to say a final goodbye, as they were friends, both Maddie and the brother Roderick, in their youth. I don't know how old any of them are now. I'm guessing in their like nearly 40s. I don't know if it's going to say later on, but the House of Usher is decaying, crumbling in on itself, molding, and we have the fungus that I read you those 2 paragraphs from before. The writing in here is extremely visual and disturbing. Also, Alex Easton, I would assume that this has kind of like non-binary rep in here. The Galatians have 7 different sets of pronouns. They do have he, she, but they also have pronouns for inanimate objects, for their gods, and then Alex goes by Khan or Ka because that is what soldiers go by. Whether you were a man or a woman prior to becoming a soldier, it doesn't matter. You don't go by he or she anymore. You go by Ka or Khan now. All soldiers, regardless of gender prior, have shaved heads and go by these pronouns. So that is really interesting. What?
I'm gonna go far away and I'm gonna see if you can hear this.
I need to play a game of telephone now. Okay. You can't go too far. Your string's not that long. So anyways, that's my quick update on What Moves the Dead, what it's about. I don't know what the plot of this is going to be. I don't know if the goal will be to kind of save Maddie and Roderick from the House of Usher. or like how the plot of this is going to come about, but right now it's mostly just like this evocative imagery. Can you please stop? This deep, unsettling feeling, but right now we don't know like what is going on aside from everyone in the house looks unwell. The house itself is unwell. And Roderick says that he's not feeling well, that he's starting to hear things. It's definitely creepy.
Alright guys, I have finished What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. It was deeply unsettling. It had such evocative imagery. I love a gothic story. I really enjoyed my time with this. I didn't realize it was a series when I picked it up, so now I've added a series, but that's okay. I'm gonna roll the footage now. I did roll late last night. And I look like a troll, so I apologize for that. But I did roll after finishing this. It was super late, and I didn't feel like speaking to the camera. So, why? This happens every time. I don't know why I'm shocked. We're back at the beginning again. We're nearing the end of September. I started this in August. We hit the first black hole again. We haven't even made it past the first black hole to hit the second one. I don't know how my luck is so bad. You will also see I'm rolling, trying to like randomize like a book off of my September TBR. I kept getting books I already read or the number 6, and there was only 5 on the list, so I just gave up. I chose number 1. I'm going to pick up The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson next and hope that I can read it before the end of the month. Although it's chunky. It's nearly 800 pages. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but I can at least get a good start on it before October. This is the 3rd and final book in the Mistborn trilogy. I'm sure everyone is familiar with this story. I absolutely loved The Final Empire. 5 stars. Liked The Well of Ascension a bit less, but still devoured that book. So many people have told me that this is one of the best series finales that they've ever read, and that I've been putting this off for literally years. Literally 3+ years. I've put this on TBR after TBR. This is on my September TBR as a book I continue to put off. So when the dice wasn't giving me anything I could use, I just chose book number 1 on the list, which happens to be The Hero of Ages. This is also a series finale similar to Rebel Witch that is being filmed for another video. I said that very strangely. So I won't be giving you updates in this vlog. It will be in the other vlog. Like I mentioned with Rebel Witch, I don't know if that's already up or if it's coming because I'm filming 3 reading vlogs at the same time right now and I'm getting a little bit confused, but that's just what I have to do because vlogs like this take me 500 years to get through. So The Hero of Ages is up next. We went from like this cute little shorty book that was like 150 pages to a book nearly 800 pages. But here we are. We were done with the hardcover prompt. I'll shuffle that back in. We're not on the board. I'll let you know when I finish this and I'm ready to roll again. I have finally finished The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This took me so long. The copy I have is over 750 pages, and beyond that, I wanted to only read this when I could be really locked in, and I'm happy to say I gave it 5 stars. Once again, I know I've already said this, but you didn't get an update for this from me because this is a part of another reading vlog, which I hope to have finished soon, but I have decided I'm going full throttle on Mini TBR Star Hop and I need to get it done. It's been months and I kind of just want to reach the end at this point, you know what I'm saying? But we're not even on the board. Again, because we always hit the black hole. Anyways, 5 stars. This series is masterful. The way little details that don't seem significant, but you know Brandon Sanderson, so you try and keep track of some of these little crumbs he leaves for you. Everything wraps up so well. Everything makes sense by the end. I love this. I wasn't like screaming, crying, throwing up, obsessed with it like some popular hyped books, you know, when you devour a book because it's all consuming. That's not how I felt about this book, but it's one of those that you can just see the craftsmanship that went into this, if that makes sense. Like, it is so well written as a series finale. This was so great. Pray for me. Can we get on the board? Can we please, for the love of God, be done with the black holes? Let's roll for our next book.
All right, you guys, let's try this again. Let's see if we can get on this freaking board. 2. All right, moon prompt. It's a book on my Kindle. All right. That should be pretty easy.
All right, I can do it. We got a moon prompt, which is like middle of the road in terms of difficulty, and we got Kindle, which is great. I have a few Kindle books that I don't know where my Kindle is, are on my TBR for the month of November. Yes, we started in August and it's now November. I'm reading one as a buddy read, but I know buddy read, and it's also quite a bit longer than the one I'm actually choosing. Buddy read is on as a prompt. If we get like a sun prompt, there's like books over 500 pages, like those types of prompts that I think that the buddy read could go with better. I'm rambling. The book I'm choosing for Kindle read is Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair, book 1 in Blood of Lilith. This is an urban romantasy that I saw Rachel from Raven Haired Reader absolutely love. She definitely put this on my radar and I have started it. I have read the first 5 chapters, so I think that's like 20% of this book. I'm not really sure. Let me check. 24% of the book. I'm on page 113 of 485, so it is a decently long book. I'm about to start chapter 6, and I'm really enjoying this so far. It is dark and gritty, and I know that this is romantasy. I can definitely see that there are some obviously fantastical elements at play here. We have some gods, and there is an entity that is knocking at the gates. I don't know what the gates are right now. Like, are they portals into other worlds? Are they physical gates? Like, what are these gates? The way that the different areas of this, I don't know if it's of the world or of this city. I don't know how big our scope is at this point. I'm a little confused as to what is what. This is having like a really dark, gritty kind of mafia vibe. Lilith is the daughter of Lucius. who's the head of one family. She escaped because she didn't want to have an arranged marriage, and she just does not get along with her mother, to a different area, and is now like working, well, not really working for, just kind of like getting under the skin of this other like mob boss family guy. And I don't want to spoil anything, even though I'm not very far in. The dark, gritty, urban vibes I'm definitely into. They have technology, they have phones, they have taxis. I have really high hopes for this. I know it's going to be dark, and I'm not sure how much the fantastical elements are going to play, but I'm really looking forward to finding out. I will check in again when I'm over the 50% mark with a further update, but so far I'm having a good time.
I just made it to the 50% mark. I just got out of the shower, but I needed to update you, even though it's getting dark outside and the lighting is absolutely terrible. Okay, so I am on chapter 12, I think. I will say with this book, the chapters are really, really long. I am, on chapter 12, but on page 250. 52% of the way through this book. This is giving like Gotham City vibes, like dirty, urban setting. We have like mob bosses everywhere. The church is low-key, or actually high-key evil, and is really grasping at straws to remain in control and doing absolutely terrible things to do so. Sounds like commentary on real life. I actually like when there's like a religious discourse in fantasy books, but some of the abuse Lilith suffered at the hands of the church was super hard to learn about. We just saw some sort of magical creature ? Like the magic, and fantastical elements in the story are, I don't want to say subtle, but like they're a very faint undercurrent to the story right now. We know they're there. We know this is a fantasy series, but they're not playing a huge role right now. It's feeling just very modern, dark, gloomy, scary city with crime absolutely everywhere. But I think now, at the point where I'm at, the fantastical elements are going to be playing a little bit more of a role, because we just saw something that we don't know what it is yet. I almost cried at something that happened with like a side character. This book does not shy away from brutality, that is for sure. If you have any trigger warnings, I would certainly read those first. I don't know where this is going. Like, this book is called Terror at the Gates. We know that there are gods hidden behind these gates, but it doesn't feel like literal physical gods banging down a door right now. It feels like the old gods or the old religions kind of being shoved in a closet, and the current church system religion that they're pushing is trying to like make everyone forget about them. But like, what if they are physical, real entities literally trying to get through? And are they evil, or will they help take down this evil church that's at play right now? It's just so fascinating right now. And I love Lilith and Zariev. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. They have such a quiet, forbidden longing, and they are really there for each other, but not in a romantic way, although we know that both of our characters are kind of feeling that, but there are reasons they can't be together, and I'm just really enjoying that. Lilith is the daughter of one of the powerful families in a different part of the city, and Zariev is the head of a different powerful family in charge of more like the slums, kind of. There's a lot of crime happening where he's in charge of. So he's definitely giving like boots on the ground, scary mob boss, whereas Lilith's father is giving wears a suit in a boardroom and kind of moves players on the board kind of mob boss. But they're both terrifying. So they can't be together because they are rival families, and the families are not allowed to marry and intermingle in that way. But she is allowed to live in his section of the city. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm having a great time. It's not a book I'm feeling like I can binge because the chapters are so long. If the chapters were shorter, I feel like I would have finished this already. But sometimes when I have like a 40-minute chapter coming up next, according to my Kindle, I put it off for a little bit longer than I should. I have finally finished Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. I'm not sure what took me so long with this. I just had, too many books on the go is most likely the answer to that question. I think I was reading like 4 at the same time, but finally made it to the end. I'm giving this 4 stars. This was such an interesting, like dark, gritty Gotham City urban romantasy. We had a lot of themes of sacrifice and devotion. We tackled topics such as religion and wealth and misogyny, of course. So in this world, the church is in power. Of course it is. And those that the church prefers are also the wealthy. And they don't consider women, really. Like, they're just there to warm their beds, birth their heirs, and the women in this world are the ones with magic. So they choose their wives based on the magic they, as the men who will own their wives, want to wield. So there are so many topics covered in here that is like a mirror on societal issues that we are dealing with. And I really like when a fantasy novel can do that without feeling like the societal social commentary is like being shoved down your throat. Like, it did feel like it fit so well in with this plot and this setting. So I really enjoyed that a lot. I really enjoy fantasy books that have a very like take down organized religion sort of plot line as well. So we are following Lilith, who is Lilith Leviathan, the heir in only that she's the eldest and only daughter of the Leviathan family, and she's the heir to the Leviathan family's wealth, in that whoever her father chooses her to marry is actually going to be the one in charge of the Leviathan family's wealth moving forward. And so she has run away. Well, her father kind of allowed her to run away to get away from her mother, who her mother is terrible, and kind of spread her wings, get some freedom, and knowing that he's going to yank the chain and she's going to have to come back and marry when he finds someone suitable, someone who he thinks is worth taking on his legacy, because it's not really his daughter's legacy, even though she is the one carrying the name. In this world, there are gates, 7 gates, 3 of which we know when opened will cleanse the world with fire, burn everything down, hell unleashed, but for a cleansing. There are 3 on the other side that will release the floods, will put out the fire and have the world wash of sins and start anew. But there is a 7th gate, which is quite suspicious, that no one really talks about. Everyone calls it like evil. It's very hushed, and something is knocking at the gates, and there are cracks forming, and things are kind of seeping through into this world. I love this. Like I said, 4 stars. The reason it doesn't get a 5-star for me is I don't think that the plot and the relationship was balanced quite as well as I needed it to. The plot kind of felt, I don't know what the right word is. In my Goodreads review, I said meandering, but the plot kind of took a back seat to the relationship at times, but then it'd be like, we're focusing on the plot, now we're focusing on the relationship, now we're focusing on the plot, now it was lagging, but not in that it was slow paced. Just like things were happening with the plot, and then it's like we kind of forgot about it a little bit as we focused on the relationship for literally a few chapters, and then we would jump back in, and like I almost felt like our characters were forgetting about the plot moving forward. Like we would be like, okay, we're gonna meet so and so at this time at this place. It's gonna be super important to move this plot forward. But then like we're focusing on banging for a couple of chapters, and we're like, oh yeah, that's tonight. Runs to meeting place. You know what I mean? So for that reason, it's not a 5-star. I'm definitely going to read the next book in this series. I think this world is really interesting, and the way that this ended and the reveals we got was super intriguing to me. So now we're going to roll for book number ? It's on the screen as always. This is taking so long, I've completely lost track. Next roll, I also got a different dice, so also the laundry's going, so that's what that sound is. 2, sun, spinner pick. Okay. Alrighty, the book we're reading next is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I've actually already started listening to the audiobook of this, so that is good. I'm only like 100 pages in. This is a YA fantasy series. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I think, and it's a portal fantasy. So we're following Harper, who is taken from the real world. I think she was from DC in the US, and pulled into a mystery land. And in that land, there is a cursed prince and his guard, and the prince kind of turns into a monster and is killing everyone. And in order to end the curse, we don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he has to have someone fall in love with him. And he's doomed to just keep repeating time. He's not aging. He's repeating the same season again and again surrounding his 18th birthday after this curse was laid. We have disability rep in here. Harper has cerebral palsy. She walks with a limp. One of her legs is severely affected by cerebral palsy, and I don't know that much about that disease, but she does not let that slow her down. She will literally run for it, even with a limp, and she is such a firecracker, so witty, and not at all what this prince was expecting. He's usually getting these like courtier, wanting to please type ladies, and that is not what she is at all. She will pull a knife on the prince when he is being inappropriate or she feels that she is in danger, and I think that's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to reading this. The audiobook is good. It does feel very YA, but when I know that's what I'm getting, that is what I'm expecting, I can really enjoy a YA story. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I will give you my thoughts around the halfway point, so another like 120 pages or so, and see how I'm feeling. Right now, I like it. I feel like I'm just barely dipping my toes in at 100 pages. Let's get this read. Hi friends. I have finished A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, and I'm giving it 4 stars. It was a really fun YA fantasy. The plot is, pretty predictable, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time reading it. I liked the bit of a twist to a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I just really liked it. I feel like I have nothing really to add. It's probably more of like a 3.5, 4-star if I'm being picky. I did like that our female main character, Harper, had disability rep included. She has cerebral palsy, and not that I have personal experience with that, but I feel like that representation was handled with care. I don't know if that's own voices or not. I liked that she didn't feel like all other female main characters in YA fantasy series. I think she had a lot of grit to her. She's scrappy. I liked her attitude. I just had a lot of fun. I have this morning off of work. I just had lunch. I don't need to go into the office until 3. Well, I didn't have this morning off of work. I worked from home this morning, but it's now lunch. So I'm going to start the next book. So this is me rolling, which I did so earlier. I know what you're all thinking. Please, for the love of God, get past that freaking wormhole. And I'm feeling the same. Like I said for my last roll, I got a different dice since the other one had it out for me. Everyone cross your fingers for me. If I get the wormhole, I think I might actually cry. 4! 1, 2, 3, 4. A moon prompt. Treat your shelf. Treat your shelf means to buy a new book, but I think I'm just going to read one of my most recent purchases. I'm really trying to not spend any money right now, so I'm going to have a look at maybe the last 3 books that I've bought, and especially like the holidays are coming up. So I'm going to show you the last 3 books or so that I have purchased, and I'll choose from those. All right, to be completely transparent, I filmed the rolling and the picking of the book last night, and you didn't see the picking of the book because I'm cheating and I'm switching it. Okay, don't judge me. This has been going on for a really long time, and my most recent purchase, which I know wasn't technically the prompt, but I'm trying not to buy anything right now coming into the holidays, changed before I actually opened the book. So I'm counting it. My wonderful, supportive, amazing client sent me a super generous Christmas gift. So thank you so much. I don't want to like blast her on here. She also sent me a pack of dice. So for Roll for Reads, I can actually use like the 20-sided die, the 8-sided die, all of that. I'm so freaking excited. But she did gift me these 3 books. We have Anathema, Daughter of No Worlds, in the new traditionally published covers. I love, and Anathema has the sprayed edges. But the book I'm choosing, like all these came in the same box, okay? Perfect for this time of year. Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison. I have wanted to read this every single holiday season. I'm trying not to drop the books. I'm balancing them precariously. Every single holiday season, probably since it came out in like what, 2020? 2021. Yeah. Every holiday season since this released, I have put it on a TBR. I've even gotten it out from the library and just haven't gotten around to it. So this was gifted to me for my Christmas gift from a client. These 3 books are the most recent books to come into my possession. And this was a treat, but not from myself, from someone else. And this is the book I'm going to choose. Okay. Give me some grace. The other one I chose would have taken me forever, and I'm trying to get this vlog out. Good Lord. This is just over 300 pages. It is a cutesy little holiday romance. We are following someone who owns a Christmas tree farm, and someone is an influencer. I don't know if that's completely right. It says 2 best friends fake date to reach their holiday happily ever after in this first romantic comedy in the Love Light series. I didn't know this was best friends to lovers and fake dating. Interesting. I need to fit more holiday reads into the schedule before the end of the year. So here we are. I'm in a great mood. Can't you tell? So while on my lunch break, I am going to start Live Light Farm by B.K. Borison. I think this is going to be a really nice, cozy holiday romance, perfect for this time of year. It is very snowy, as I'm sure you can see, and we literally just went to a Christmas tree farm to get our tree as a family. So I think this will just be cute. It's not very long, and I do hope I enjoy this. I did just get this as a gift from one of my clients. It was my Christmas gift that I opened as soon as it arrived because I am impatient. But I'm gonna have this. I'm going to eat my Rice Krispie, and hopefully I can get through this quite quickly. Hey guys, I am now about halfway through Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison, and I'm having the greatest time. I'm a little concerned that the ending is going to ruin it for me, if you will, because I have had multiple people tell me that they overall like this series, but really didn't love this book, like that it was just fine. But I'm eating this up. I don't know if it's the humor that hits just right, if it's the friends to lovers. Something about this small town running a Christmas tree farm is just hitting me right in the soul. Not to be dramatic, but I'm going to be dramatic. I just am loving this. I think it's also like a bit of Stella has like a lot of self-doubt, and she is trying to run this business and not let anyone down, including herself. And she's holding so tightly to Luca being her best friend in this entire world that she doesn't want to mess it up. But they're going to fake date for Evelyn St. James, an Instagram famous influencer, to visit the Christmas tree farm and try and like have a boost in her business so that she can pay her employees who are like this found family. And I'm just loving the small town vibes too, where like the police officer knows Stella from when she was a kid and is like a father figure for her. And her best friend bakes the most amazing sweet treats. And the grumpy lady at the coffee shop who makes the best coffees in the world will not give one to Stella. She purposely makes them really bad. Like, this whole town and all the inner workings, I am loving, as well as the friends to lovers romance. I am just loving it, and I'm so happy I'm loving it, but I'm also a little bit scared because of other people's ratings of this book. But the humor's hitting just right. Stella's like extended family, hysterical. Luca's extended family, hysterical. They both went to like each other's family's Thanksgiving dinner in this book, and I was literally laughing out loud reading this on the couch. I'm having a great time. I just finished Love Light Farms, like literally right now. I've been wearing my makeup all day. It's bedtime, so don't mind me. I loved this. This is like a 4.5 star for me. This was absolutely adorable, better than a Hallmark movie. A little bit cheesy, but like that's what I needed. That's what I needed. I feel like I gave you guys a good update last time. I loved the small town vibes. I liked that Stella is facing her fears of being left behind and running a small business and trying not to let everyone down and learning to rely on others, on her friends. And the best friends to lovers was so good in this. I loved it. I did. So, another one down. This was Treat Your Shelf. Let's do another roll. All right, here we go. 5. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness. We are past the black holes. Oh, excellent. Sam and I are buddy reading Brimstone right now. So I just got buddy read, and Sam and I are buddy reading Brimstone right now, which is such a fantastic choice. I'm literally giddy over that book. I've only read like 50 pages right now, but that is what I'm going to be choosing for this. But we are reading about 50 pages a day, so I'm actually going to roll again. If we get a 1, we have another prompt. If we get 2 or more, it's a free pick, and that way we can finish out this vlog. So I'll have a free pick book, which I know what I want to read, and then Brimstone, which is going to take me quite a while to read just to keep up, like keep our pace, our schedule. I can't believe, okay, I will say I was feeling pretty positive I was going to hit that black hole and then I was just going to be done, but we did it. Okay, let's roll again, but I will be choosing Brimstone for this book. All right. We've reached the end. That's it. This is a free pick. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to choose for this, but I'm going to focus on my buddy read right now, which goes here. I've been trying to kind of keep them. And then we've made it to the end. 2 more books, you guys. 2 more books.
I'm so sorry, this is going to be a little bit of a loud update. I know there's background noise. My furnace is having a bit of a meltdown, but I need to film this clip right now so I can go get my son off the bus. I am like 75% of the way through, maybe more than that, of Brimstone by Callie Reid. This is the buddy read book that Sam and I are reading. We did slow down a little bit over the holidays. My house has been plagued with sickness, but we will be finishing this week. I am really liking this. 4.5 stars, but this doesn't have the same obsession feeling that I had in feeling Quicksilver. I feel like we're learning a lot of things in this book, but the plot isn't as like chaotic in a good way as it was in Quicksilver for me. Like I was frothing at the mouth reading Quicksilver, and while I'm still loving this, I don't have that same feeling. And then we did make it to the end last time, which is a free pick. And for my free pick, I chose The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score, and I didn't even update you on this. So sorry about that. But I did read this over Christmas and I have finished it. So I have officially made it to the end of the game board, but we still need to finish Quicksilver. This is like a 2.5 star read for me, unfortunately. My husband bought this for me for Christmas last year, and I wasn't really in the mood to pick it up right then. I was really liking this at the beginning. We had this small town rescue HGTV vibe. Like our female main character, Catalina King, is a reality TV star for like a home improvement or home makeover type show, and the town of Mary, which is obviously very Christmassy themed on the East Coast in Connecticut, had a late season hurricane that absolutely flooded the town, wrecked so much infrastructure, and really threatened the town's tourism and livelihood coming into the holiday season. So Catalina King and her crew kind of swoop in trying to save this town, and there we have like a town manager, not mayor, Noah Yates, who's super grumpy, doesn't want her using his town's tragedy for ratings. And the small town vibes, the banter, like the bickering these two had, I was absolutely loving at the beginning of this book, but I feel like as soon as the clothes came off, we lost all the aspects of this book I was really enjoying. There was also a conflict happening in here, which is kind of going to be a little bit of a spoiler. I'll try and be vague. Noah is a single dad. Him and his ex-wife are very amicable. They are still friends, but they are divorced, and they have a 12-year-old daughter. So his 12-year-old daughter was spending the weekend with her mom, but she forgot her history textbook. So she's knocking on the door, and Noah and Catalina are disrobed. So he's running around trying to get his clothes on to let his daughter in the house to get her book, and he tells Catalina to hide because A, she's naked, and 2, his daughter doesn't know that they're seeing each other, and it's just like not a good look. And the conflict stemming from that was absolutely insane to me, because Kat got so mad and said that he treated her like a whore and that he was ashamed of her. And I'm like, as a parent, I'm sitting here like, maybe he didn't want his 12-year-old knowing that he's having sex on the couch. Like, that's pretty awkward with someone that his daughter admires from like a celebrity standpoint, and someone who's like, it's not a serious relationship that like, but regardless, whether they were married, officially dating, anything, like, of course he wouldn't want his 12-year-old daughter to walk in and can see what had been going on the couch before that really, really bothered me. This is also the second book in a series, and I'm so glad I did not read the first book, because the main character in that one is Catalina King's brother, and their dynamic, their sibling dynamic, was so off-putting to me. I had no good vibes coming from her brother, so I'm glad I didn't read that book first. But yeah, this was overall a disappointment, and I will be unhauling this. I will officially close out this vlog when I have finished Brimstone. What the fuck was that ending? How long do we need to wait for the next book? How am I supposed to go to sleep after that? Sam and I have officially finished our buddy read, which was our last prompt we have, and that means I've officially completed Mini TBR Star Hop. This took me so many months. Granted, these were not the only books I was reading. I did not do this with the same intensity that Stephanie does, where she just like sits, focuses, and gets it done. However, I do hit more black holes than I feel like anyone else does, but that's neither here nor there. Do let me know if you want to see me tackle this challenge again at some point in 2026, or if we just leave this torture device in the past. I am open to either way. I do have so much fun with this. It just takes me a long time to complete it. Getting back to Brimstone by Callie Hart, I obviously don't want to give any spoilers, as this is the second book in a series, but I ended up giving this 4.5 stars. I did really enjoy my time with this. Quicksilver had me like frothing at the mouth, so excited. I did not feel that same like overwhelming urge to keep reading as I did with Quicksilver. This definitely had some slower points, but we still had a great plot that does come together. The world building in this series I really enjoy. We have so many different things to explore. The way that Quicksilver ended, we had something to look forward to, a new region to explore, new politics, and the same can be said for this one. We have a new place to explore coming into the third book of this series. I do not know if this is going to be a trilogy or if it's longer. If you do know, let me know in the comments. Carrion is such an unexpected favorite for me. He is who is on the end pages of this book, and I think that he is so freaking funny. He has me cracking up throughout this entire book. The way this ended, Well, you guys saw, like, I just laid in bed after that. I read that at like nearing midnight. And I just like couldn't wrap my mind around the implications that Callie Hart left us with at the end of this book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Happy to complete it. And it also means that I have finally finished this reading vlog that I have been working on for months. And that feels like a really big check mark off of my list. So if you guys did enjoy this reading vlog and you've made it all the way to the end, leave me a fire emoji to go along with Brimstone here. I think that would be really interesting on who made it to the end of this extremely long reading vlog. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!